Hey guys, and welcome back to Okami for more Japanese horror folklore bullshit. Jesus, man, is there any, like, fairy tale that doesn't end in, like, creepy babies or shadow people?
Probably, but I would
you
say
had to
that
think there, that's worrying.
Well, you see, this is because, well, I've learned about quite a few Japanese myths and folklore tales. I don't know all of them, so there probably are some that don't end with that. But like the key ones that I am aware of are all quite dark or sad.
Yeah, the more popular ones, really. Damn, that's a big horse.
I'm pretty sure it's a cow.
Fuck, yeah, okay, sorry, I didn't see the horns. I just saw the snout and assumed, okay?
So yeah, you probably saw that there's a massive stank going over the capital city.
Stank of darkness, yep.
Yeah, like, proper stanky as well. Because you've got the whole minty green thing going on, although it's less minty green and more, like, dark booger green.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's like a proper nasty stank. So, as you probably guessed, something's going on in the capital and we're going to need to sort it out, obviously, because that's the only way these things happen. I have to say, I'm not the biggest fan of facing down the Abume because they're like the Krotengu but slightly more annoying.
Oh, do they, like, block attacks with their fans and whatnot?
Well, with their parasols, yes.
Well, they looked like they were fan dancers to begin with.
Yeah, well, the parasols, because I don't know really why. I suppose it's because they're trying to make them seem ladylike.
Yeah, it works.
But yeah, it's all good. But yeah, they're not my favourite enemies to defeat, shall we say.
There's a question. In, like, we will go for the whole spectrum of video games here. What are some of your, like, most enjoyable enemies to fight, would you say? Stuff that really gets you pumped up.
Ooh. Ooh.
Because I'm sure you can pick out annoying enemies, but we're going to flip it around here.
God. Well, before I do that, we're going to pick up this rabbit and take it back to its owner, because its owner needs it. And the thing that I really like about this is that this rabbit's name is, I believe, Inaba, which is a direct reference to Atsushi Inaba, who is the, or at least was the former CEO and producer of Clover Studio, and is currently the head producer at Platinum Games. He's also, I believe, the executive director and producer as well. So, like, Atsushi Inaba is amazing. Obviously, we have a lot to thank Kamiya for, but Inaba also has a lot of... He's amazing as well. So, I just find...
Isn't he a secret boss in Nier Automata? Or am I thinking of the Square Enix CEO in Final Fantasy 15?
Honestly, I'm not sure. That might be the case. If you bear with me 1 second.
Yeah.
No. So, while you are able to fight the Platinum Games president in Nier Automata, as well as the Square Enix president, is the presidents. So, Square Enix president Yosuke Matsuda and Platinum Games president Kenichi Sato.
Okay. I'm sorry for being name racist, guys. I don't think all Japanese presidents are alike.
But yes, as we were saying, enemies that I like. I'm quite fond of Joy in Bayonetta, just because Joy is very much a replica of Bayonetta, in the sense that they have similar moves, and they're just quite exciting to fight, and also they have a really, it's a really sexualized, but it's a really funny torture attack, because it's the wooden horse, where Bayonetta whips them onto the wooden horse, and pulls so tightly that they explode while they orgasm. It's quite funny.
Jesus. Also, isn't this a new enemy we're fighting here?
I believe so. I think this is the Thunder Ear.
Nice.
So there is a whole strain of these. So we had the Fire Eye, Ice Slips, Thunder Ear, and as you'd expect, there's going to be more difficult versions of them later down the line.
Okay.
But yes, so I say there's the Joy. I'm quite fond of... Oh god, what are they called? Give me 1 second to see if I can get it correct.
Well, if you tell me the game you're thinking of, I can probably help you.
You're not going to be able to help me because it's an enemy from the Wonderful 101.
Ah, okay.
I'm going to go for it. Oh no, so it's the Didogu in the Wonderful 101's quite fun because it's like a big proper enemy that's still a standard enemy. But it's got more meat on its bones than the regular Dogus.
Right.
But it's not quite as annoying as some of the slightly later enemies, like the Gaily Dogu enemy, which has got spiked armour, which you need to Unite Whip off. So even though the Didogu is quite a simple enemy, it's still quite fun.
I guess for me, and this is kind of cheating since they're more mini-bosses than anything, the Constructicons from Transformers Devastation.
Oh yeah, they're awesome. I mean, if we go in mini-bosses, that's a lot. That makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that, since, you know, I kind of cheated a little bit. But great music, great variety in, like, styles and whatnot. You got one with a drill, one with a mixer that chucks, like, poison at you. It's just all good fun.
So, yes, we are now on the island. I think I decided I would leave this for last, because obviously it's an island, so let's clear everything on the main coastline and then go to the extra bit. Makes sense, really, doesn't it?
So what are we doing on the island, exactly?
So we are, I believe, or at least I certainly hope, we are going to go visit Onigiri-sensei. And we are going to pick up a few new moves, I hope. I mean, we're here anyway, so it would make sense for me to do that.
Yeah.
But I know how past me acts, and sometimes it doesn't necessarily always make sense to me now. So, yes, I mean, this makes sense to me now, because rather than going into Onigiri-sensei first, we're going to go and blow up this hole on the side, because there's treasure inside.
Oh, float to me.
Like, I would have thought that it would have been slightly better than a pearl, but it happens.
You knew this was coming. What's your favourite gem in Steven Universe?
Well, considering I've hardly watched any Steven Universe, I've watched some of it with you, but I have not watched any since, because life, busy. And also I've been watching a lot of Netflix as of late, which is probably not the most useful use of my time, but it's still incredibly satisfying.
Dude, you work hard. You can do whatever the fuck you want in your off time.
This is true. So, favourite gem of the ones that I know about?
Uh-huh.
Probably Pearl, if only because she's the neurotic one and therefore it's probably the closest to my personality type.
Why did I know it was gonna be Pearl? What's your birthstone, by the way?
Garnet, actually.
Ah, interesting. Mine's Topaz, and, well, keep watching.
So yes, once we're here, because this is further on in the game, there are a lot more moves that we can get, which is really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that we want to get, and the one which is absolutely necessary for you making any more progress in the game, is the Holy Eagle. Basically what it is it allows you to do a much more effective double jump. So the longer and harder you press the A button, the higher you'll go.
Oh, okay.
And so if you remember that bit in Kamiki Village where I was having an absolute blighter of a time getting onto that little island,
yes.
this is what I really needed to more effectively get there, because this allows you to get up really quite high, and it's a lot of fun, and I love Holy Eagle.
Pretty bitchin' name as well.
Oh, I know. I mean, I suspect part of it is in reference to the whole thing of Army was going to transform into different animals.
Yeah, of course.
And obviously there was that whole... I can't remember whether it was an eagle or whatever, but there was going to be a bird that Army turned into, and I suppose that's sort of where that comes from. Finally! So, Digging Champ means that we can finally dig into bits of ground that are... well, we weren't able to earlier because they were too difficult, they were too hard to dig into.
Oh, that henshin sequence never gets old.
I don't know how this actually works, but still, it's awesome because we can finally dig in some of those spots.
I understand, Sensei. Let us test it out. I think.
Yes, finally. Took his time, but we got there in the end. So if ever you see anything like this, which you probably should recognise at this point, we've seen quite a few of them around, we are able to dig through them now, which is an absolute godsend because you're looking at more than a few stray beads are located under those things, and also the location of at least one of the toughest challenges in the game is located underneath one of those things.
Interesting.
And actually, if we wanted to, we could go do it now. We're not going to because that would be absolutely ridiculous and stupid.
Yeah.
But we could theoretically do it now. And right now oh, there's the other god technique, the one that is, the most expensive in the game.
Brown Rage?
Yes, Brown Rage. Yes.
Huh. So Golden Fury, Brown Rage.
Yes. I'm sure you can put things together.
Yeah.
But we're not going to be dealing with those for a while, so we've got 5 wins, Spirit Armageddon, and 3 shears. Basically, right now, I'm trying to figure out which one I want more, because I only have a limited amount of yen. Obviously, because I am a loser, I'm going for the rosary one because I like my rosaries more, and ultimately they are the most effective weapon in the Wii version of Okami. So
the move sounds cooler as well. Spirit Armageddon.
I know. So yes, so this gets us up to 8 hits with the rosary, which is just like, oh, it's amazing.
Alright, let's do this shit.
Just absolute badassness.
Nice.
Like, I was very disappointed that I couldn't get up to 64 hits in total.
Yes, you should be.
I know, I wanted to. I can't remember whether I do actually manage to get up to that at any point during getting Spirit Armageddon. I don't think I do, but if... I can't remember whether we get any more upgrades to the combos on the Rosary after this, but I really do hope that we do get that so that I can get up to 64, because that would just be really satisfying to achieve.
It would. You must please Sensei/Senpai.
Tom, I believe it's Senpai.
Yeah, we should really kick Flame out of the group one of these days.
Well, yes, because, well, I mean, it depends. What role does Flame fit into this whole Japanese relationship thing?
Otaku, the end.
This is true. This is very, very, very true. Not quite sure what I'd fit into. I mean, I suppose I'd sort of be the Sensei type, because I'm basically the loser with the all the facts and trivia and information, so I'm basically the teacher.
Well, first and foremost, you're not a loser, but yeah, I said teacher would be a good role for you.
Yeah. And then I think basically everyone calls you Senpai, so I think that's basically you, Tom.
I begrudgingly accept. Alright, well, we're still learning stuff? Jeez.
Well, yes, because, well, why not? We've got the yen to do it, and I would say that it's useful. So the whole thing with those other god techniques like Wailing Mirror, so that it's useful in the sense that if you've got 2 reflectors equipped, then it makes everything more powerful. But I would never really recommend having 2 reflectors equipped as both your main and your sub, because you want a little bit of flexibility with things. And well, I would say that as a sub weapon, the reflector's probably the best, just because you can do that block and counter move, which you haven't really properly seen yet.
Yeah.
But you will do ultimately at some point. It just, I don't know. I don't really think that those god techniques are all that useful. Or at least I've never needed to use them, and therefore they're not useful.
Yeah, it's always the way, mate.
I mean, it's one thing that I've always found slightly fascinating with quite a lot of games, is that some of them have techniques and tricks that you can do which make life easier, or have a lot more depth to them that you can master, but if they don't prove... If you can beat the game without them, and the game is still fun without them, then ultimately they're a little bit pointless. I mean, there's like, I would say that if you look at Metal Gear Rising, you've got all of those options of all of those other weapon types.
Yep, just go with the stuff.
Go with the staff, and you don't really need anything else because of the way that the game is set up.
There's a term for that, but it's escaping me right now.
I think you're probably right, and I definitely can't think of it either. So it's one thing that I do find fascinating, and it is disappointing because you want everything to have a use, and it's the one reason why I do love Okami's brush techniques, because every single brush technique has a use,
Yeah.
and you do get to use them constantly. But I would say that some of the god techniques are maybe a little bit less useful, and we can dig through those ground bits.
Oh, praise
Oh,
Abby.
there's clovers. Oh, I know, stray bead. There's clovers all over the world that we can get now as well.
Well,
Makes me so satisfied.
not in this part, there's only a couple of minutes left, so...
Well, yes, but we can also get this now, which is your training for Holy Eagle, and to tell you you need to get Holy Eagle. But we've basically now explored every bit of Ryoshima Coast that we can feasibly explore.
Oh, do we need, like, additions to explore the rest?
Yes, we do, because, well, we've explored everything that we can on land, and really we're not going to do very well exploring on water as we are right now. We're just going to drown.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously we have the lily pads and we could wait, but that's just not fun.
Nope.
So, I mean, we might be going to do one little thing. We might not, we'll see. I mean, there's enough time left to do this little challenge, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, all that's really left for us to do is to head into the capital and to see what the hell is going on there, because that stank is really worrying, and I feel that we need to investigate.
Yeah.
Because we are a goddess and we might be able to do something, but then also, you know, dig spots are kind of more important to me right now.
Oh, you're a man with his priorities in order, mate.
Well, exactly. I mean, that stank's been there for a while.
But the clovers are right there, so, you know.
It's not like it's going to be going anywhere anytime soon, so it's not like it's a problem.
Right.
It's not like anyone's actually dying in there or anything, are they? No.
Well, there's been no documented cases of death so far, just, you know, bad things happening.
Exactly, so, like, it's totally fine. Like, I can just do my own thing and be happy with it. It's all good.
Just top it up on feed and whatnot before we progress it.
Indeed, just because we're going into a new area, and I think there are animals that we can feed, but it's not necessarily going to be majorly important because of obviously the stank that's going on, and that stank is not going to be doing anybody any favours, let's put it that way.
Indeed. Get a lot of crystals here.
There are so many items around here. Like, if you're ever struggling for yen, just go and find the dig spots. Just dig everywhere. Cut up everything. You really should not have any more money worries whatsoever. But after we've gotten this clover, which is overlooking Seon City, that's exactly where we're going to go.
Ah, very nice. I guess it's my turn to actually talk now. Alright guys, we'll see you for another installment of Okami. See you then.